How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the channel for another Star Wars Battlefront 2 video. And in this video we are going to be talking about a fair few things, now mainly being why I think the cancellation of Battlefront 2 was just a terrible idea. And I'm going to look into that in a non-biased way. I know some people might think I've got bias because I've got a Battlefront 2 centric channel, but trust me, I'm going to stay level-headed on this one. And also, I'm going to quickly cover a few things regarding Star Wars games coming in the future and what this could mean for EA holding the Star Wars license. And I'm also going to get into a few other things that a lot of people are discussing right now regarding Star Wars games. Now, before we dive on into this, I just want to extend out a big thank you for the support on the channel during just all of this. The amount of you heading over to the second channel has just been crazy. We're nearly at 5,000 subscribers over there, which is pretty crazy seeing there's only a handful of videos. And the support on this channel as well, a big thank you is in order as we did hit 80,000 subscribers yesterday. Despite Battlefront 2 coming to an end, you guys have just been really supportive of the content that I've been putting out, and I thank you for that. But anyway, now let's get into this, as I do have a lot that I want to cover in today's video. Now, I originally planned to upload a video yesterday discussing the cancellation of Battlefront 2 in a bit more detail. But I wanted to just sit on it for a little bit longer, as the shock of the end of the game has kind of worn off now, and I think it's like that for a lot of people. And because of that, there's been a real tonal shift that players have had toward EA regarding Star Wars games, and it's not a good one. Now, to start with Battlefront 2's final update, I thought it was, in my opinion, really good. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the content side of things. I love Scarif, but I gotta say, the game is a bit of a hot mess right now. I know my last video was discussing how amazing the update was, but I've let a bit of time go, and the more people have been playing since the update went live, just the more problems are surfacing. And Battlefront 2 from a gameplay perspective is in a really bad state right now. And the timing literally could not have been any worse, as we are kind of stuck with this unless they decide to do a bunch of hotfixes on the side while they work on Battlefield 6. Which I think is something that might happen, but anyway, in the game's last update, it kind of broke the game. Vader has been left completely OP, and it's going to stay that way. The game crashes constantly, you get kicked from lobbies are glitched, lobbies are laggy, hit registration is terrible. Particularly on Darth Maul, and considering you need 5,000 kills with Maul to unlock his new skin, that's not going down well with a lot of people. So it's safe to say that people aren't overly happy with mainly EA right now. Now, I want to stress this, I am not having a go at DICE or the developers in this video. This isn't their fault, this is a higher up issue. Now, it seems like EA in particular have just absolutely no self-awareness when it comes to Battlefront 2 and Star Wars games in general right now. And mainly just how they've handled and are still continuing to handle the end of Battlefront 2's live service. It has been nothing short of pathetic, and the game deserved more. I think we can all agree on that. Like, this game and the developers that have poured a whole lot of passion to bring Battlefront 2 to where it is just deserved better than EA flicking off the switch on the game. Like, if you go and take a look around Twitter regarding Battlefront 2 and Star Wars games right now, including posts from EA Star Wars themselves, you'll notice things have taken a sour turn for the worst. EA Star Wars Twitter page has been posting a ton of posts regarding Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, or whatever the hell that mobile app game is called. That one that simpletons just pour money into for some reason, and you look in the comments and it's just people bombarding them saying they don't care about this mobile game, that Battlefront 2's cancellation was a mistake, and that this all once again proves the greed of EA. And I mean, it's all true. There is literally no way of denying it, but I'm sure people will try to deny it anyway because some people are just, yeah. Like, I see comments like this from Battlefront 2's old community manager and now producer at DICE. Like, when someone asked him why the game had to end, he himself asks himself that exact same question. And that just goes to show that even the people who made the game just don't know why this game came to an end. Like, Battlefront 2 coming to an end was just a horrible decision, and if you ask me, I think it's the decision that's going to lose EA the rights to Star Wars games when their contract expires. Like, yeah, Battlefront 2 was brought back to a great state, but that's because of DICE and passionate employees who actually care about the game, Star Wars, and the players, which is everything EA are not. Like, yeah, Jedi Fallen Order was great, we all loved it, but it went against literally everything EA stands for in order for that to happen. 1, it was a single player game, and according to EA, nobody wants single player games. And 2, it didn't have any microtransactions, which probably gave the executives at EA heart failure. So I'm not going to sit here and suckle at the teat of EA because they aren't the ones who have just gone through the ringer to bring Star Wars games back from the depths the IP faced a few years ago. Like, if there was another Star Wars game announced, then yeah, I'd understand maybe cancelling Battlefront 2 to shift some focus to a Battlefront 3, like, that's fine, and people would probably be completely happy with that. But they've cancelled Battlefront 2 when it was pretty much in its prime. Like, cancelling a game in its prime, that's the only one in its field. Like, who is the man with a big brain that made that decision? Because now, Star Wars games are going to go on a hiatus. Less and less people are going to care, and Star Wars games are going to fall into the back burner once again. Despite the fact that we've had this massive resurgence and step up in quality over the past year for Star Wars games. Now, this also falls into EA's decision to make DICE make a Battlefield 6 game and cancel Battlefront 2 in order for that to actually happen by sending the developers that were working on Battlefront 2 over to Battlefield 6 to make this big game. There is just so much wrong with this. Like, Battlefield 5 was a flop and it didn't meet expectations at all, not even close. Battlefront 2, on the other hand, was majorly successful despite the launch controversy. Not to mention the sales of the Celebration Edition a few months ago just boosted that even further. But they decide to scrap both of these games and decide to make a Battlefield 6 despite the fact that Battlefield 5 was practically dead and Battlefront 2 was practically in its prime. So now they have left Star Wars gamers in the dark, despite it being proven to be one of, if not the most valuable IP in gaming going around. Like, these are just some big brain moves from EA. Like, my god, man. I just do not get it. Like, at face value, the cancellation of Battlefront 2 is just dumb. Like, there's literally no other word to describe it. It's dumb. Like, honestly, the only way this can even get justified is if there are games being made by producers that are not DICE that will just fill this huge void that Battlefront 2 has left in the Star Wars gaming scene that we don't know about yet. Yes, Jedi Fallen Order's sequel is basically confirmed without officially being confirmed, but that's a single player game and it's going to go as quick as it comes. And even then, it's still 1 to 2 years away, and the LEGO Star Wars game that has been seemingly forgotten about by everyone, including EA, is just not going to fill that void that Battlefront 2's dumbass cancellation has left. Now yes, people will bring up that the virus played a part in this, but the thing is, EA are not short of $1, and the virus doesn't explain them canning Battlefront 2 in its prime to make a Battlefield 6, a sequel to a game that flopped in comparison to Battlefront 2. And let's be real, Battlefield 6 will never make the kind of money that a Battlefront 3 would, so I don't know why they just didn't go the sequel route for Battlefront 2 and make a Battlefront 3. Like, from a financial standpoint, that just seems the very obvious way to go. So again, it just adds to another reason as to why things just don't make sense with the cancellation of Battlefront 2. But like I said, the virus is irrelevant here. Now, people are saying, oh, Battlefield 5 players have it hard too, their game got cancelled as well. Like, yeah, it did, but the thing is, they have Battlefield 6 confirmed to be coming and to look forward to. Like, it's fine for them. But Star Wars gamers, on the other hand, it's just like, okay, well, screw us then. We'll just go play The Force Unleashed for the 7,000th time while we wait for EA to make more dumb decisions. Now, it might seem like I am coming off as salty in this video, and you know what, yeah, you're probably right, because everything about this whole situation is just stupid, and it just makes no sense. And given the massive resurgence Star Wars games have had over the past year, you know, with Fallen Order being a class Star Wars game, and Battlefront 2 taking it up to its 2005 masterpiece of a predecessor. Like, everything has been coming up Milhouse, then randomly everything just takes 1,000 steps back and it seems like we're back at square one. And of course, that's frustrating, and I know people are going to say that, you know, the servers are still up, you can still play Battlefront 2, but be real with yourself, how long do you think that's actually going to last? Battlefront 2 always got stale just before its updates, but the update would always come in and revitalize the game at the right time. But that's gone now. Like, I myself struggle to find games on the regular as it is, and I can't imagine what it's going to be like in 2 months' time. And it's disappointing because Battlefront 2 had so much potential still. Like, the game still didn't have some of the most iconic and newly iconic Star Wars characters as heroes. Not to mention the planets that the game didn't have either. Like, the potential was limitless and it's been unceremoniously just cut off just like that, and I don't get it. I really don't. Nothing about all of this makes any sense to me, and I hate to be so negative about Battlefront 2's end, as it was truly becoming a modern classic. But I mean, it is what it is, but hopefully something big gets announced for Star Wars games sooner rather than later, so we can just make some sort of sense of this confusing mess going on right now. But guys, go ahead and let me know down in the comments what you think of all of this. I am seeing more and more people becoming increasingly frustrated, and I get it, I really do. But yeah, like I mentioned, go ahead and let me know your thoughts down below. And if you did go on to enjoy this video, then be sure to drop a like, and if you didn't, drop a dislike, that's cool with me, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also, if you haven't, then feel free to check out my second channel as well. But that is going to do it for this video, so thank you guys all for dropping by, and I'll talk to you all again in the next one.